Lots of cars screwing around tonight. Okay. So I don't really know how to talk about this. And I was going to make a video 2 days ago and didn't. And then same sort of thing happened again. And I'm afraid that I'm going to come off as like, I don't know, something. Perry's off into the woods. Poppy is following him. All right. As I'm sure everybody is super aware of, we have been dealing with the pandemic and with having lockdowns and stay-in-place orders and all this other stuff. And things around here are starting to loosen up. And it's a very... I don't know. See, here's the thing. Can you see him? Yeah, you can see him. I don't know if my issue is specific to me. If it is, I mean, that's me trying to be vain again and think that I am uniquely weird. I don't know if it's avoidant personality disorder. I don't know if it's now the CPTSD. I can't even say it. But here's the thing. I think there's another cat over there. Something's shining over there. You run into people that you haven't seen in a real long time. When they have shut down businesses and places and suddenly they open them up again if you're going back to them. And this is a problem for me. Where it really hit me first was I use the library a lot. I don't like to be noticed at a library. I've talked about going grocery shopping, and if I get noticed at a grocery store, I stopped using it. Same with restaurants. I can't go anymore. My town library, I don't go to it at all anymore. I'm sure at this point all the librarians have had some sort of turnover. I go to a different library. Actually, it is one of the, perks of getting the master's degree I got is that I'm technically allowed to use any library in the United States. Pretty cool. Anyway, so I can pick a library and use it, regardless of if I'm a citizen or not. And I do use it. I get multiple books a year, multiple books a week usually, what am I talking about? And I don't roam the stacks because people. So instead, our little online culture, if I find a good book, I order it so that I can spend literally a couple of minutes in the library when I go. I can go in, give them my card, they give me the stack of books, and I leave. The library's been closed for months. I don't know if you can see these guys. And they are starting to open back up. And what they're doing is, basically for everybody, they're doing the same thing that I do all the time. Which is, you order books, although now you have to make an appointment, and they have them all packaged for you, and here's your card, and they give you your stack of books and you leave. Not a cop. Can't see Perry running. He hides from cars. Well, this probably might be stupid for some people. This is actually really hard for me to talk about. So I went to the library to get my stack of books, and it's librarians. I mean, okay, let me sort of break from this. And I talked about this before. I don't think that people, okay, I assume. There we go. I assume. I'm making an ass out of myself. I'm assuming that people can't grasp the magnitude of my issue, or maybe don't even realize it exists. I really, truly do not think that I make an impact on anybody at all. It's either negative or no impact. And I'm a ghost and, transparent, and people don't know me. And I mean, this was definitely back to how I was. I mean, my mother introduced me to every single, that was her thing. She would introduce me to everybody. She would introduce me to her friends, like every single week. This is my daughter, and give my name. One of my cousins absolutely flipped out because he assumed that she was introducing because she thought he wasn't the one who was capable of remembering. Not that, the point of her doing that was to make it clear that nobody was going to remember me, ever. And I was not worthy of being remembered. And so people need to be reminded who I was, because I was a ghost. And this is, she did this up until the week she died. And that is completely ingrained. My son is going through this thing where he doesn't call me mom, he calls me by my name. And this is my son. I lived with him for 18 years. I'm amazed he knows how to pronounce my name, because my name is a little off. Anyway, it's not an average normal name. It's not totally abnormal, but it's not, common. A friend who I've emailed for 10 years. I'm astounded that this friend of mine knows my name. It blows my mind. Like, oh, you actually do know my name? You've only been talking to me for 10 years. You actually know my name? This is the way I am. They say that people with avoidant personality, not they. I heard one person, but it hit home so well, and I don't think it's been studied. Anyway, who said that avoidant personality disorder is to the point of nearly being a delusion, that you just don't have a right grasp of reality. So, if it's somebody that I lived with for 18 years that I am so surprised knows my name, because I'm that nothing, going to the library to pick up these things, and here I am, following the rules. Here's my card. One of the librarians just absolutely squealed. There's no other way of describing it. Absolutely squealed. I'm going to go back early. Perry is already laying down. I don't think you can see him. Take my word for it. And she's like, I know who it is. I'll get it. And I'm like, oh my God. Who is this? This is that little black cat that's not my cat. Hello, little black cat that's not my cat, that wants a pet. Oh, here's Perry. See, Perry gets jealous and interacting with a different cat. And here's Poppy. Let's see if we can see. And the little black cat. I thought I saw a cat up there. That's who it was. So, these guys are ready to go to battle against the little black cat. Anyway, so that, like, I was just like, I mean, I was freaked. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of damn people in this world, and why would I be, remembered by a librarian? It breaks my brain. And then it sort of happened again tonight with a shop person behind the counter who was like, oh, I haven't seen you for a while. We've been open. And I'm just like, oh my God. It's okay for me to be in this world if I am not making an impact on anybody, and if I am not acknowledged, and if I can convince myself that nobody notices me, and it's like I'm a ghost, like I'm not there, then that's okay. Because I'm not impacting anybody, because if I impact somebody, it must be negative. It's got to be negative. This guy that was trying to talk to me, I mean, it's like I went deaf. I couldn't hear what he was trying to talk to me about. I was just like, oh yeah, gotta go. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I gotta go. So stupid, but whatever. And, I don't know. I guess we're taking a little break. Break the family rules and sit on somebody's grass. We're not supposed to go on the lawns. This is the mom rule. But Perry wants some pets. And Poppy wants a break. Yeah, so... So I don't know what to say about it. My gut response is I can't ever go to that library again, and I can't ever go to that store again. That's my reaction. And I'm going to have to pretend that never happened, or else kind of stare and make sure that I don't have to interact with them. As there's another store that I'm doing exactly that. I'm refusing. Where did these cats go? Oh, they're behind me. I'm refusing to go into it because I don't want to interact with somebody that works there. And it's not the entire store. Usually that's it. Usually it is the entire store. I mean, it's becoming the entire store because I would drive by and go, oh, I should go in there, and then I'll look, and I'll be like, well, I can't really see. If that person's working, I don't want to be there, and I don't want to walk in and turn around and leave, so I guess I just won't go. I mean, this is behavior of like a 7-year-old. Especially because it's not like there was anything interpersonal. I'm just recognized. Somebody was talking about going to Disney World. Uh-oh. Do you hear them? What are you doing? Did you get lost? we got lost. Anyway, and seeing the people that work there, and they are so thrilled and so happy to be back to work and see people again. I mean, if you've been stuck in quarantine, if you've been out of a job and you haven't had any, maybe you're getting some unemployment, but you're just sitting around being crazy, in the house, losing your mind because you're more gregarious and extroverted and you want to be around people, and then suddenly you're not. Perry's up there being crazy too. I can kind of understand it. It's just like, not me. I just can't cope. And it's the type of thing, like, I'm not in therapy anymore, and I'm kind of glad, because this is the type of thing I would want to talk to a therapist about, but my therapist, even though he was pretty good, this is so far out of anybody's realm. You would have to get like a super specialist in charge of like delusions and schizophrenia and stuff like that for them to understand this thing and try to relate to something that is so completely opposite the human experience. And that's what it is. That's when it comes down to. My reaction is just opposite of everybody. And I don't know if this is avoidant personality disorder. Although, hey, kind of fits the name, huh? Or what? I mean, I don't know. I mean, my thing is, I talked about it before, that to cut everything down and make it way too easy is to say there's basically two kinds of avoidant people. The kind who can only interact with their family and feel safe with their family, and it's really hard. They're almost agoraphobic. They can't handle crowds. They can't handle other people. It's like they've got a very, very few close people that they can trust and be around, and then the rest of the world, no. And then the other people who, opposite side, who their family and anybody that is close to them is the absolute worst, and that strangers are good, but strangers are totally cool until they're not strangers anymore, and then they're not cool. And I'm not the only one that's been on that range of the spectrum. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. It's the middle of the night. I'm out with my cats. But again, I'm not uniquely weird. There are other people with avoidant personality disorder that are like that. I think it's bizarre that, I'm sorry, but I think it's bizarre that you would trust the people that abuse you the most. That makes no sense to me. But I know there are a lot of people that have avoidant personality disorder, and that's it. That's who they trust. They trust their family only. The people they live with, the people they grew up with, the people that know the whole history. And I'm like, oh my God, people who know my whole history, that's a nightmare. That's awful to me. I don't know. So I don't know how to handle this. But I wanted to make the video basically to say that this happened, and this happens. And, I'm really surprised, if you see, like, pop culture and stuff, it's been for the past at least year, maybe longer, very pro introverts. And since all these lockdowns have happened, there's been nothing said about them. I guess it's just assumed that they are living their life and they're, having a glorious time. And that So now where are all the articles to, I don't know, maybe they're out there and I'm just not seeing them. How an introvert deals with coming out of lockdown. And maybe that's all it is. Maybe that's all it is. I mean, I think that mine's pretty extreme. It's just like, I would rather be forgotten. I really would. Even though I make these videos. What the hell, right? What is wrong with me? Because again, it's very disembodied to me. They're, I don't know. I don't want to put people off or tick them off or anything like that, but I know these videos are very personal, but I don't feel like they're personal to me. I feel like they're really mostly just the facts. I mean, some of these things that I talk about are traumatic, to say the least. And if I wasn't making a video, I would be having an extreme emotional reaction, and I don't. Because I'm trying to get the information out there for people. And I really wish I always wish that I had an answer. I never have an answer, and it bothers me that I never have an answer. So, I guess the point is that I had this reaction. I know that it's not just this. It's just that the problem is that people who I could assume were just being polite, that didn't recognize me at all and were just that way with everybody else, that's just how they were with everybody, maybe they aren't just being polite. See, I can't even take the words out of my mouth. But maybe it is more than that. Let's just put it at that, because it is weird how that happens too. It's like I start to say something that is just like, when I say it breaks my brain, that's what I'm talking about. Perry's over there having a little bath. Is that it stops everything. I can't say the words out loud because it's just so wrong. But that might be true. I don't want to know that it's true. I feel like I'm being monitored. I feel like I'm being judged. I feel like now I have some sort of standard that I have to keep up, and certain behavior that I need to continue with come hell or high water, and don't have choices anymore, and that I am and will be only a disappointment from this. Before I was neutral, and now I'm like digging the grave where I'm going to be more and more of a disappointment. I have to be a disappointment because that's all I can be. And so it's really freaking me out that I'm running into these people I thought I was okay with. I thought I was neutral. I thought I was nothing. I thought it was safe. And now, unfortunately, I'm finding out that these people don't think that way. And I don't know how to handle it. I don't know how to deal with it. And it's happened, and I think it's going to... I don't want to be vain and say, oh yeah, everybody in the world knows me, blah, blah, blah. That's not it. One is too many. As far as I'm concerned. So, anyway, I don't know what to say. So I'm going to end this and get these cats back. And, yeah. All right, bye.